Yesterday evening, Gareth Southgate announced his 26-man squad that he will be taking, or staying in England for the Euros that takes place, or that starts very, very soon. He announced a provisional squad last week of 33 players, which meant 7 players had to be given the cut and did not make it. So let's just have a quick refresh at the provisional squad then. So 4 goalkeepers are Dean Henderson, Sam Johnston, Jordan Pickford and Aaron Ramsdale. In the defence, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ben Chilwell, Connor Cody, Ben Godfrey, Reece James, Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kieran Trippier, Carl Walker and Ben White. Into the midfield then, Jude Bellingham, Jordan Henderson, Jesse Lingard, there we go, Mason Mount, Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice and James Ward-Prowse. The forwards then, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Mason Greenwood, who now of course has withdrew from the squad due to injury, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho, Raheem Sterling and finally Ollie Watkins. There's 33 names that were chucked into a hat, and Gareth Southgate has put 7 of them to the side and said, you are not going to be taking part in the Euros. Let's have a little look at who he's picks then. So let's start with the goalkeepers then. So the 3 goalkeepers that he's taking, which was pretty much expected, of Dean Henderson, Jordan Pickford and Sam Johnston. I can imagine Jordan Pickford will be the number 1, Dean Henderson will be the number 2 and Sam Johnston will be the number 3. Sam Johnston probably won't get any games, and I mean, if there's injuries, Dean Henderson might get a few games here and there, but I am expecting Jordan Pickford to be the first name on the team sheet as the goalkeeper for most of the games, and of course that means Aaron Ramsdale drops out of that back into the provisional squad, and the first of 7 players to drop out of the side then. Yeah, I was expecting that. No surprises there at all. Let's have a look at the defenders then. So in the squad are Trent Alexander-Arnold, Connor Cody, Ben Chilwell, Reece James, Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kieran Trippier and Carl Walker. There's a lot of fullbacks there. Notable defenders that have been dropped out of this are Ben White, Ben Godfrey. As you can see here, I don't think there's many more names that have been dropped out of there because he's put a lot of fullbacks in there. A lot of fullbacks, just if you want to have another browse at that side. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ben Chilwell, Reece James, Luke Shaw, Kieran Trippier, Carl Walker. That's 6 fullbacks out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know if my count is wrong, but that's 6 out of 10. So that only leaves 4 centre backs. I find this very strange. I'm going to be completely honest with you, and that leaves, as it says here, England with 4 right backs going into to be fair, not a really lengthy. I mean, I think it's a month's worth of football. Very strange to have them. For me, I would have taken out this man right here, Kieran Trippier, and perhaps put Ben Godfrey in there, or put another midfielder in there to strengthen there, but we'll come on to that right now with the midfielders then. So these are midfielders that have been picked. Now, this is very strange. 10 defenders and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 midfielders. I just don't see the balance in this side. I really don't. So the midfielders, Jude Bellingham probably won't play as a central midfielder, probably will play as a central attacking midfielder. Jordan Henderson will probably be that central midfielder. Mason Mount probably playing up pitch as well, and Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice. So there's only really 3 there that I can noticeably look at and think, yeah, they will be in with a shout most recognisably to be, the 2 in central midfield. If we go for 2, 3, I don't know what formation Gareth Southgate would opt for, but if it was me, Declan Rice would be the first name on the team sheet, obviously. It's between whether he wants to go with Jordan Henderson, experience, or give Calvin Phillips a go. I expect him to rotate it a little bit. I expect all players will get rotated because, we've got a 26-man squad and we only need 11 players. So there will be some rotation in there, that is for sure. So let's have a look at some attackers then. Now this, I really don't understand. So, our attackers then, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho and Raheem Sterling. So, obviously, Mason Greenwood had pulled out due to injury. Ollie Watkins doesn't make the cut as well. If we just have a look here, any other noticeable names, if you can spot any, well done. But yeah, Ollie Watkins is the one noticeable name there that's not included in that squad there. Yeah, I would have took a couple of these out and put a couple more into the midfield. For me, Raheem Sterling shouldn't be in the squad, shouldn't be in the plane or in the car or in the bus, whatever mode of transport they're going to take to go to these games. No, Raheem Sterling's had an awful season. Gareth Southgate's a yes man, and he worked in 2018, but we're in 2021 now. This isn't 2018. Now, Raheem Sterling should not be in that side, but because he likes him, Gareth Southgate's got this little pot of players that he likes. Eric Dyer was in it, but he wasn't even in with a shout. I liked to see that. I'm going to admit it to you. And he's put Raheem Sterling in there, even though he's come off the back of an awful season, in my opinion. And Marcus Rashford, I'm going to be honest, hasn't done a massive. Oh, that's the provisional squad. I do apologise. Marcus Rashford hasn't done a massive amount. Looking at the top player, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think it was a toss-up between Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Ollie Watkins. I would have personally given it to Ollie Watkins for that bit of physical intent and that just bit of variation. Because if we can chuck him on with 20 minutes to go, he can be a target man if we need someone out there, which perhaps we don't have in the likes of Harry Kane. He's a big target man that could help us score goals, but that's a surprise. I would have rather had Ollie Watkins in there over Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but we've got to trust the manager. As much as I find some of this hard to believe, we've got to trust the manager. So we're going to have a look at some of these midfielders that were put in there that were that missed out. And Jude Bellingham made it, Jordan Henderson made it. We'll come to Jesse Lingard in a minute. Mason Mount made it, Calvin Phillips made it, and Declan Rice made it, with James Ward-Prowse missing out. So I would have liked to see Jesse Lingard at the very least be in this. James Ward-Prowse, probably I would have put him in there for that bit of variation every now and then, to jump on if we need a goal. He is a set piece master, and no one else takes a set piece like him. So for me, I would have probably took Kieran Trippier out and probably put Ben Godfrey there, and I probably would have took Raheem Sterling out and put Jesse Lingard there, and whether you should have taken out Marcus Rashford as well and put James Ward-Prowse in, just for that bit more variety in the midfield, because we're very short in there. So that leaves, if I did that, then I'll come to that in a minute. So if we took Marcus Rashford and Raheem Sterling out there, that still leaves Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho, a lot of attacking players, more than enough there. So I would have took a couple of players from the defence and the attack, put them into the midfield to create a bit more balance in this squad, in my opinion, and probably would have changed up Dominic Calvert-Lewin for Ollie Watkins as well. So just to reiterate, these are the 7 players that didn't make the cut. Aaron Ramsdale, I expected. Ben Godfrey, I would have liked to see him come in. Ben White, I expected. James Ward-Prowse, I didn't expect him to be in there. Jesse Lingard was a massive surprise. I expected Jesse Lingard to be in there. Mason Greenwood, obviously, he dropped out because of injury, he pulled out. Whether he would have been picked, I don't know. We will never know. That was a bit of a difficult one, that one. And of course, Ollie Watkins was not put in there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was favoured instead of him. Yeah, and just some of the reasonings, I don't think I have them right to hand, but some of the reasonings that Jesse Lingard made for not putting Jesse Lingard in there was, now I think he says something ridiculous like, now he's got a chance to prove me wrong. Well, if you would have took out one of your ridiculous 6 fullbacks, because you don't need 6 fullbacks, and put Jesse Lingard in there, the player on form, then you'd have it there, wouldn't you? I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm being completely honest with you. Even if you took out Jack Grealish and put Jesse Lingard in there, because let me put this spin on things then. Jack Grealish has been injured quite a lot in the last 3 months. You should pick a player on form, not on what you've seen before. Now, to be honest, I'm going to put it out there, Jack Grealish probably won't be as sharp. Maybe he is now, but Jesse Lingard will be a bit more sharp, I think, But you could make that defence for Declan Rice as well. But he came back, and it is up to Gareth Southgate. I'm going to try and back whatever he does, because there is raw talent there, and I believe there's enough to get past quite a few sides. With no real hiccups in our. I think we are in Group D, and I mean we've got a qualifier tomorrow. I'm not a qualifier, a warm-up match tomorrow, and then we've got one on Wednesday, and then our first game kicks off, I believe, on the 11th. Then we play on the 15th, I think, and then we play on the 22nd against Czech Republic. Could you imagine if Alex Král comes to West Ham? You've got Declan Rice, and then on the other side you've got Thomas Souček, Alex Král, Vladimir Coufal. That will be a good one. But that's my reaction. So finally, look at the whole side together. There it is. You can have a look at that. And to be fair, I didn't even mention Trent Alexander-Arnold in there as well. Reece James, these players in there. There's just so many fullbacks in there, and I just don't quite understand it. There isn't balance there. There should be. I mean, just look at how many defenders and forwards you've got there compared to midfielders. There isn't any balance in this side. I don't know, but I'll back Gareth Southgate. I'm not quite sure of his reasonings and his, meaning to do this. But we've got to back the manager. I don't think football's coming home, but I'm going to say football's coming home. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. This has been my reaction to the Euros 2020 or 2021 26-man England squad announcement. And from me, come on, you irons, up the England, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.